The young monk tied a stone to a fish he had caught. He watched as the little fish struggled and could no longer swim. The young monk laughed, feeling amused. Soon after, he caught a small snake and tied a stone to it in the same way. What the young monk didn't realize was that everything he did was quietly observed by his master. The master did not scold him right away. Instead, that night, after the disciple had fallen asleep, the master tied a large stone to the young monk's body. The next morning, the young monk struggled under the heavy weight. Feeling wronged, he asked his master why the stone had been tied to him. The master took this opportunity to teach him a lesson. "If you don't like suffering yourself," he said, "why would you inflict it on others?" Realizing his mistake, the young monk went to the river. But the small creatures he had harmed were already gone. He broke down and cried in deep sorrow. The master believed that this experience had awakened the kindness within him. But 10 years later, fate tested him again. One day, an injured girl came to the temple to recover. The young monk, still inexperienced and confused, lost his discipline because of her. This scene was eventually seen by the master himself. Angered, the old monk pulled the boat to the shore and removed the plug at the bottom. Before long, the cold river water woke the young monk completely. He brought the girl before his master and confessed everything. The master, having lived through life himself, did not blame him. He understood that such emotions are part of human nature. After learning that the girl had fully recovered, the master rowed her away from the temple. From that day on, the young monk could no longer sleep at night. His mind was filled with memories of the girl. Eventually, he chose to leave the temple to search for her. 3 years passed in the blink of an eye. One day, the old monk returned from seeking alms and accidentally saw a wanted notice in the newspaper. The person on it was his former disciple. Not long after, the fugitive returned to the temple. When he saw his master, shame filled his face. The old monk asked him why he had caused such tragedy. The former monk clenched his teeth in anger. He said that in just 2 years, the woman had changed completely, ending the relationship and choosing someone else. Unable to accept it, he made a devastating mistake. Seeing that his disciple had been consumed by obsession, the master restrained him and punished him harshly, hoping to help him forget everything related to the woman. When the rope finally broke and fell, the weight in the young man's heart seemed to fall with it. Calming himself, he shaved his head once again. Then the master ordered him to carve every scripture onto wooden boards, so he would forever remember the mistakes he had made. Not long after, 2 officers arrived at the temple. The monk did not resist. He chose to take responsibility for his actions. Years passed. After serving his sentence, the monk was released. He returned to the temple, inherited his master's role, and devoted himself fully to spiritual practice, never again stepping into worldly life. Yet unbeknownst to him, the young monk he later took in was even more troublesome than he had ever been. And so, a new cycle quietly began.